There's always something to make you look around and say, hey, you know what? I live in a pretty great country. President Trump is calm, on point, on his game. And unlike the last guy, he is competent and coherent.
Come on, man.
We're not bending the knee anymore. We're here to take a stand for God and country.
This is the Steve Gruber Show.
All right, welcome to it, my friends. My gosh, we're going to have some fun today, I can tell you that. We're kicking off another brand new hour here on the Steve Gruber Show. Fighting for you from the foxhole of freedom every single day. Who do you want in your foxhole? I mean, it's dicey out there. You need somebody you can trust, somebody you can count on. Lots of work to do here today. Let's get to it. Here are the three big things you need to know this hour. Number one, the crackdown on crime is delivering dividends in another major city. This time it's Memphis. 1,000 criminals have been arrested. Dozens of kids that have been missing have been found. Yeah, it's working. Number two, in New York City, the race for mayor coming down to the wire, and it still looks like the 34-year-old communist from Uganda is on track to win. What a disgrace. And number three, the massive remodel of the East Wing of the White House, well underway. And it's all the liberals and left-wing media outlets can talk about. I mean, what else do they have? They would have you think, by the way, the president's bulldozing the entire building to the ground. He's destroyed the entire White House. All right, and then I've got this coming in from Stephen A. Smith, sports commentator, basically saying that the takedown of the National Basketball Association for widespread illegal gambling and rigging of games and so forth, to whatever extent they could, and illegal poker games that were rigged that had some sort of X-ray vision under the tables. I'm not kidding you. It's tens of millions of dollars over many years. Stephen A. Smith saying it's Donald Trump just targeting people he doesn't like, and the WNBA is next, and the NFL could be next. Well, we'll find out. Anyhow, all of it's on the table today because it's free speech, free for all Friday, powered by Patriot Mobile's Common Sense Hotline, 877-310-9966. We're going to hear from Patriot Mobile today, by the way. 877-310-9966. Are you ready? Let's do it. Keep it clean. Don't talk to me about other shows. That's not why we are here, okay? First, let's start with this. The threats from the Democrats over President Trump's remodeling of the White House, really something. Here's dime store Obama, Hakeem Jeffries. Listen.
Any executive authority. And more likely, this is part of what Donald Trump has been doing since day one of his presidency, running the largest pay-to-play scheme in the history of the country, and probably soliciting donations from people who've got business before the United States government. And all of this is going to have to be investigated. It will. All of this will have to be uncovered. It will. And these people are going to be held accountable no matter how long it takes. That's going to be the reality of the situation. And that's our warning to all of these people participating in this scheming to manipulate taxpayer dollars.
Yeah. I'm done with him. Shush. Dime store Barack Obama, there he is. All right, a lot to talk about today. Again, that Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline, 877-310-9966. Ladies, man, they're getting in today. They said, look, we need some things to be said around here. We're going to start with Veronica in Missouri. Veronica, welcome to the program. Let's get it started.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well. And you?
Wonderful. What is going on with this Democrat Party? You've got the governor in the race for Maine with a swastika tattoo. You've got an attorney general in Virginia with the assassination culture. What is going on?
They've lost their ever-loving minds. Look, so I was reading this thing from John Kennedy yesterday where he talks about the most important thing you can do as an American citizen is defend America and the liberty, and that has to be the role of patriots. John Kennedy, right? You even look at Bill Clinton. This isn't even the party of Bill Clinton. It's certainly not the party of John Kennedy. It's not even the party of Bill Clinton anymore, right? His transgressions notwithstanding, he was not a communist, right? Barack Obama, when he said, I'm going to radically transform America, boy, he was serious. He's still doing it, of course. He's appearing in some of these races, New Jersey and Virginia, and the governor's races. He's campaigning this weekend. Veronica, they're a mess. I don't know how anybody could support him at this point. I don't.
It's insane. I don't know.
Well, it
Go
is.
Buckeyes.
What? Did she say go Buckeyes? Veronica. It's blasphemy. Anyhow, thank you for being the
Censor
first caller
that,
today.
Brock. Hit the button.
Yeah, there are certain words you can't say on this program. I'm kidding. Look, I love my friends from Ohio most days. There's one day a year I kind of get on the other side of the aisle, all right? So go blue is what Veronica said. It just came out weird. I understand. All right, so let's keep on going. The ladies are in line today. Barry is in Texas. Barry, how are you?
Fine, sir, and God bless you. I got three things to say. One of them, with all this freaking Jack Smith stuff and everything, they need to bring out that Bank America was giving that government, them guys, bank records for spending, whoever spent money buying guns and pistols and stuff.
That's right.
Like from Home Depot or Academy. Why don't they be bringing that up? And how about pill popping Hillary, where falling down on wine and everything?
All right, so here, okay, third thing.
Okay. Can you believe everybody, so many presidents has done wonderful work, and this is going to reflect what Trump's doing, no tax dollars, and they want to focus on that. How
Right.
about Obama?
Yeah, you're exactly right.
He had his own still.
Barack
Yeah, he
Obama
had his
did
own
two
skill.
major renovations. I greatly appreciate the phone call, Barry. Two big renovations by Barack Obama, costing hundreds of millions of dollars. He converted the tennis court into an inside basketball court. Nobody complained about that. That was $390 million. He did a massive renovation in the front of the White House on the North Lawn. Tens of millions of dollars. Nobody complained. Taxpayer paid. This one's privately funded, and they're complaining about it being done. Look, when it's done, it's going to be beautiful. Presidents for years have complained they didn't have a place to hold a big state dinner properly, things of that nature. So look, what Donald Trump can build things, and I said this before. If Barack Obama had gone to Donald Trump back in 2012 and said, hey, can you build this tennis court for us and make it great? Nobody would have complained. They would have applauded Donald Trump. They would have celebrated Donald Trump. But because they've decided to hate him and anything he does, it's a different world. Good questions, Veronica. Good questions, Barry. Well done so far. All right, Ray, Virginia, what's on your mind?
Yeah. Steve, back in May or June, I'm not sure when it was. I just remember it was daylight outside.
Yep.
You had a congressman on there who said, from the Judiciary Committee,
Mm-hmm.
who said he was going to take care of all these federal judges who are going ape. And I haven't heard nothing about that since then. Have you?
I have not. The only judges I've heard about are those trying to help illegal aliens that have been arrested and so forth. But you're right. These rogue judges. And then the Supreme Court weighed in and said, you can't do these. So you can't hand out injunctions across the country. And they're doing it anyway. Yeah, so the Supreme Court's getting the proverbial middle finger from a lot of these activist judges. It does have to stop. It does. You can't be in a district. There's hundreds, 600 and whatever district court judges in America. You can't shut down the whole country on a whim from Northern California or anywhere else. It's Free Speech, Free for All Friday. The phone number for you to get involved, 877-310-9966. That is the Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline. I'll be back. All right, diving back into it. By the way, if you missed this in the last hour, I mentioned this in the last hour. Chuck Grassley has released a memo showing the DOJ unleashed unchecked government power on government associates from the former administration. Merrick Garland, the Attorney General then Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco, then FBI Director Christopher Wray, all signed off on Arctic frost, April 2022. And they targeted all sorts of people, including Senators Marsha Blackburn, Josh Hawley, Lindsey Graham. Ted Cruz was also targeted, but AT&T refused to give up his phone records for some reason. I guess we'll give some credence to them. But Chuck Grassley says more to come as they continue to rip back the curtain of the dishonest Democrat administration under Joe Biden that Joe Biden was almost fully unaware of, from what I can tell. All right, it's Free Speech Free for All Friday, powered by Patriot Mobile's Common Sense Hotline, 877-310-9966. In honor of Rush Limbaugh, we do this every Friday. I'm glad you're here. It's a conversation for the country. Scott in Georgia, welcome to the program.
Yes, Mr. Gruber.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hey, I've got two things. Can we cut the Democrats' pay and give it to the military, first of all? Second of all, can we bust these judges down after they throw their challenge flag down to traffic or city court or even rebar?
That's cute. I like that. The challenge flag from District Judge 103. Boom, there it is on the field. Great couple of questions, Scott. Yes, we have to get these judges under control. And I've got great big breaking news right here in my hand about the military pay, all right? An anonymous donor dumped $130 million to cover military pay for the shutdown. The private donation came the same day, by the way. This came just yesterday, the same day that Democrats voted not to pay the military. How shameful. They think they have leverage. We heard Catherine Clark, the number 3 Democrat, say that on camera this week. Yes, people are going to get hurt, but it's the leverage we have. These people are shameful. Chuck Schumer says it's getting better every day. Really? For who? The people that have food insecurity today? The people that aren't sure if they're going to get a paycheck? Well, the military is going to get paid due to a patriot somewhere. $130 million came in for this round of pay for the military, so we congratulate that person. Scott, so that's some good news. Thank you for the phone call. Do appreciate you checking in. Tom is in Michigan. He's going to give us a quick report on the No Kings events that he was celebrating over the weekend. Tom, how are you?
Great, Steve. Great show. I was out there with my Trump hat, my Trump revenge, or the flag that says it's his revenge tour.
Yep.
And my shirt. And they surrounded me with 6 guys, and they were screaming at me right in my face. They had their fingers right in my face. And I just stood there. Finally, the police showed up and was asking me to leave.
Yeah, and where was this?
And I told them I didn't do anything. And they said they know.
What city?
Because they were watching. In Waterford, Michigan.
All right. In Waterford, yeah. You know, I'm going to give the police a pass on this, and here's why. The police are wildly outnumbered by these people. You're there. You're the focus of all their angst. I've been in a similar situation in my life. They said, you need to leave. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Yeah, but if you leave, we can diffuse the situation. So the police were outnumbered badly, as you know, by a bunch of radicals. So I understand their point. You may not agree with it. Some people might not. But they're just trying to keep their, skin in one piece, too.
Right. Yes, they were.
Tom, greatly appreciate it. Anything else?
Yeah, one other thing is, what happened to all that money that they were going to find disappeared just before the towers fell that had to do with Hillary?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into that for you, Tom. Thank you for the phone call. Appreciate it here on a Friday. We're going to the Palmetto State next. That's for ladies. You're doing well today. I appreciate it. Usually the guys hog up all the phone lines, but not today. Patricia's on the line in South Carolina. Patricia, how are you?
I'm fine, Steve. How are you?
I'm good. What's up?
I normally call you from Georgia, but now I'm in South Carolina now. It's been a while since I've been on the phone with you. But anyhow, I have a concern. I live in Kershaw County in South Carolina, and we received a notice in the mail that they will no longer be accepting Medicare. What's going on with Medicare?
Who's not accepting Medicare?
Kershaw County here in South Carolina.
That, ma'am, I do not know. Here's what I want you to do. Stick on the line or just send me an email. Go to stevegruber.com. This is true for all of you, by the way. stevegruber.com. Send me an email. Give me some details so I can dig into it, Patricia. I'll need more.
I'll send you a picture of the cord that we got in the mail.
Perfect. I'll need more. If you can send me that, I can dig into it. I can put my news team on it. They're very good. They can dig into it and find out more. So I appreciate that. Again, go to stevegruber.com. Send me that picture. And anybody, if you want to comment here, I've got some letters here, in fact, I'm going to read today. Because some folks don't want to be on the phone. They just send me emails. Is that you? No problem. Jump on the computer, send me an email. Mike is in New York State watching the great race for mayor in New York City. Mike, welcome to it.
Hey, good morning, Steve. I'm from the Northland up here on the Canadian border.
Beautiful place.
It is. Unfortunately, we have such a wonderful governor that maybe it won't stay that way long.
Yeah. What's on your mind?
Well, I think I have a problem for the California CDL problem. I think I could solve that for us.
All right, let's have it.
All we need to do is to repaint all the traffic signs in Hindi.
Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate your help today. Way to step up and get it done. There's Mike. He's paint them all in Hindi. Yeah, and it's funny, except it's sad because a lot of people have been killed now. And it's the last two major events involved illegal aliens from the nation of India, so Hindi would be the language that has to be published in. How is California or Illinois or New York giving driver's licenses to drive 18,000-pound missiles down the highway, or 80,000-pound missiles on 18-wheelers would be more accurate? It's absolutely unconscionable. Unconscionable. Don't forget to go to patriotmobile.com today. Use the promo code Gruber. You'll get your first month free. You're going to love this phone. Trust me. It's the only phone that can have two lines from two carriers, so you're never out of service. One line could be business. One line could be personal. Only from Patriot Mobile. We're going to hear from them more in detail coming up here on the program. I'll be right back on a Free for All Friday. No time to waste on a free-for-all Friday. The calls are second. We've already gotten to Missouri, Texas, Virginia, Georgia, Michigan, South Carolina, and New York, and we're just getting warmed up because Dawn is in California, up early to talk on the program. Dawn, welcome to it. What do you got?
Good morning, Steve. I am calling from glorious Californica under the reign of King Newscam and his minions supermajority.
Yep.
I do have a Schumer shutdown question for you, though.
Okay.
Hoping you can answer. Can you please explain what the nuclear option means?
The nuclear option would mean you take away the filibuster. You make it so you don't have to have 60 senators. They've done some of that to get some appointments through. They've done that with the Supreme Court now. The Democrats did that, of course, to get Supreme Court nominees through, and the Republicans have reciprocated. Look, the filibuster is important, but look at this. They have the No Kings protest that Tom was talking about. And yet in this country where they claim we have a king or a dictator or whatever, the minority party is able to shut down government, not pay the military. They lost the House, the Senate, and the White House, and the minority party is still able to shut down the government. Doesn't sound like there's a king here to me. Great call, Dawn. We ought to be able to open the government. Maybe we should take the nuclear option, but not yet. Not quite yet. Thank you to that $130 million from an anonymous donor. Kevin in Pennsylvania, what do you have for me today? Welcome to the program.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Gruber. I'm actually calling to brag a little.
All right.
Our house here in Linwood, it has 3 to 5 times the Steve in the morning.
Really?
I have you on 2 TVs, a laptop, a desktop, and my phone. So any given day, 3 to 5 times more Steve than anybody else.
So it's Gruber surround. I like that. Yeah.
Yes, it is. You're in every room. It's almost it's a little bit better than Big Brother because you're not ominous like he is.
Right. You got a question or just that? I got about 10 seconds. What's your question?
No, just wanted to call in and tell you I love the show.
I appreciate you for doing that. You love Ivy too? I just want to make sure. Got to give Ivy some love here today. And Anthony and all the people. There you have it. Kevin, great job. It's Gruber Look, I say it all the time. You need more Gruber. Right, Ivy? Right. Right, Anthony? Right. More Gruber. And more Free For All Friday after this. All right, back to it now. To answer the question, I believe it was Patricia in South Carolina here just moments ago asking about Medicaid being accepted. So we went right to work on this to find out what the answer is. Medicare is a federal program. Did she say Medicare or Medicaid? Medicare is a federal program, and it's available in all 50 states, plus the District of Columbia and all U.S. territories. All states accept Medicare, but Hospitals, doctors, and healthcare providers can choose to accept Medicare patients or not. Over 95% of physicians in America accept Medicare. The only reason you wouldn't have it is if a provider excludes it. And if that's true, find a new provider. Welcome back to Free Speech, Free for All Friday, powered by Patriot Mobile. Dave is in Arizona. Dave, how are you today?
Less than highly favored. How about you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. What's on your mind?
So I think that our dystopian nightmare started this whole Cloward-Piven strategy back in 1993 with the Motor Voter Act.
Yep.
If you can remember back, that went into effect on January 1st of 95. But what that's done is it's put all these people that may or may not be citizens on voter rolls.
That's right.
And that's allowed people in secretaries of state or county recorders potentially to use fraudulent ballots, dirty voter rolls.
That's right.
And James O'Keefe exposed this years ago to sway elections whichever way they want.
Yeah, it's interesting because it sounds innocuous enough. It sounds innocent enough. Oh, motor voting, we just want to make sure people get registered to vote. We should have seen it. We should have been smart enough to know there was a game afoot, because there was, and there is. And the game continues today. I just saw some 3,000 illegal aliens that were registered to vote in Texas. Oh, that can never happen. That's illegal. It happens every day. And we don't actually know to the extent. Well, 3,000 votes couldn't change an outcome in Texas. It could in a local election, so it could make differences as to who gets elected to different positions. But the mass mail-in ballots are the big culprit here. The good news for the last week is that Dominion Voting has been bought by a conservative Republican who now turned it into like Liberty Vote or something. He renamed it something like that. And Dominion Voting is no more. And so the guy that bought Dominion Voting is basically shutting it down and changing it and making it trustworthy again. So that's good news. There is no more Dominion Voting. We'll take that to the bank this week. All right, we're going to move along. Charlie is in Orlando, Florida. Orlando. Ivy grew up not too far from there. Charlie, how are you?
My question is, with ICE crackdowns in L.A., I've read a couple articles on the found tunnels leading from Mexico into the U.S., San Diego specifically. And I was wondering what your take is on whether Hamas may have engineered them or
who knows?
Constructed them.
Here's the problem, Charlie. When you let in 20 million people, and we don't know how many we let in, but we'll just say 20 million came in illegally during the Biden administration, who knows who came in? Hamas, Boko Haram, Hezbollah, the Chinese Communist Party, people that generally have a distaste for America want to destroy us, which is anybody who comes from one of these hellholes around the world want to turn their country hellhole into our personal backyard. Who knows who came in? That's the problem with open borders. That's why you should never allow it. That's why France, Germany, the UK, Canada are all in trouble right now because they've allowed this mass influx of God only knows who because they don't check. Oh, I want asylum. Okay, come on in. I want asylum. Okay. Or in our case, gotaways. Millions of them. The sad fact is, Charlie, we don't know. And that's why it was so reckless.
Yeah.
Plus it infects elections, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, we just got to be vigilant.
We
Keep
do.
our eyes open.
We got to be involved. Be a poll watcher. Get involved. Don't sit on the couch and worry about it. Get involved. All right, let's go to Lee. He's in the Tar Heel state of North Carolina. Lee, welcome to it.
Hey, Steve, how you doing, man?
Doing good. What's up?
That's good. Look, I just have something that hopefully you can pass on to the White House. I hear almost all of Donald Trump's pressers.
Yep.
And I see him congratulating these people in Congress. These people are slack. They are just slack. They could be in there right now doing their work, even though, nobody's getting paid. Who cares? They could be in there right now doing it and trying to codify all Donald Trump's
goals, initiatives. I got it. Yeah,
whatever.
his agenda. No, I got it. It's an interesting point you make, Lee, because the TSA, they have to work even though they're not getting paid, because if they don't show up to work, they get fired, even though they're not getting paid. It's remarkable. And Chuck Schumer and the Democrats have said no at least 12 times. I've lost count. Yesterday, they said no to paying the military because they think that they're getting an upper hand here. They're going to lose on this. They're going to lose on this. I can assure you, Lee. Thank you for calling. Don is in Oklahoma. Man, we got the whole country covered today. Don, how are you? Don, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, what's on your mind?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
All right, what's on your mind, Don? Go.
Steve, we live here on the prairies of Oklahoma.
Yep.
In cattle country. And the people that have cattle have bred them up, bred their herds up. And we're not scared of the trade. We trust Trump, whether it's grain farmers or it's dairy or it's beef cattle. We moved away from the dairy up here on the hill. My wife had some maladies, health maladies.
Sure.
And on the corner, it was a square corner, a four-way. We recessed it, and we put a 4x8 sign out there that says Trump Corner. We absolutely love him. We love Rav. We love Ivy. We love you. I really thankful for Rav. I can get the straight of things.
Don, I appreciate you calling. I do. Thank you very much. And I want an update on the agricultural thing. I've talked to 2 soybean farmers in the last 2 days because the Democrats would have you believe that the farmers are being destroyed because Trump is telling China to pound sand and giving them the tariffs. Well, the truth is soybeans are a little bit higher today than they were last fall. So they're a little bit better. Not a lot, but a little bit better. They're not in the hole. It's a little bit better because they're finding new markets for biodiesel, markets in Japan. And look, wouldn't it be better if we weren't beholden to China for anything? That'd be a better America, wouldn't it? Let me get to Jim in Tennessee. Jim, how are you today? Jim, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Go ahead, real quick.
Okay. I had 2 questions. Okay. The first one would be is, why are these news people getting away? And isn't there laws that stops the lies that they keep telling? I've never figured that out.
Well, I mean, to answer your question, it's free speech. They can give any take on it they want, any spin on it they want to a point. But if they go too far, they'll end up paying Donald Trump $16 million or $20 million or $30 million. You've seen that with 60 Minutes and others. Jim, I got to leave it there for today because we're hitting a break. Apologize for that. But yes, here's how you fight back against the mainstream media and its dishonest correspondence and their dishonest narratives and their dishonest editing. Come here. Come here and tell your friends. I'll talk to them. I'll give it to it straight. I may not like it all the time, but I'll tell it to you straight. It is Free Speech, Free for All Friday. We're going to hear from Patriot Mobile after the break. You need to be a partner with Patriot Mobile. Great partners make this program possible every single day. Great partners because we're targeted every day. Conservative voices are targeted for silence, but today we're going to bring on Scott Coburn, Chief Marketing Officer, Patriot Mobile, one of my great friends, and a company I've been using since before we were partners. Scott, nice to have you on the program.
Nice to be on the show, Steve. As always, appreciate what you guys are doing and allowing us to have a chance to come on here and tell you all the things that we got going on here at Patriot Mobile.
And you've got a lot. You know, people understand that you're a cell phone provider with all three major networks, and we talk about that here, of course. And I use Patriot Mobile, have for a long time, because they support the things I care about, faith, freedom, and things of that nature. But you guys are involved with so many other things. It's important to bring you on from time to talk about these things. For example, Patriot Mobile sponsored the Daniel Defense event. The DD Foundation helps defend the Second Amendment through youth shooting sports and so much more. Tell us about this event.
Yeah, Steve, we had the honor to be with our friends down in Black Creek, Georgia last week with Daniel Defense. And they have an organization that they've launched called the Double D Foundation. And their mission is quite simple, actually. It's to advance and educate our Second Amendment rights, but they do it through the support of youth shooting sports, which when we found out about that, we really wanted to be involved because, as you know, Steve, our Second Amendment rights, that's one of our pillars that we stand on at Patriot Mobile, and we believe that we should be doing everything we can to defend those rights. And this is a great way to introduce the youth of America into the importance of our Second Amendment rights and doing it in a way that's doing something that they love to do, which is competitive shooting. And it was a great event. We were able to tell them a little bit about what we're doing here at Patriot Mobile and ways that we support our Second Amendment rights. And we just had a great time out there with those guys.
You know, you defend the Constitution, not just the Second Amendment, but the First, the Second, the Fourth, the Fifth, and so on and so forth. People don't realize, you know, that when you become a member of Patriot Mobile, you become something bigger. You're part of something much bigger, aren't you?
That's right, Steve. And that's quite honestly why we exist, right? I mean, every time you make a call or send a text with your phone, when you're with Patriot Mobile, you can know that you're supporting organizations that are on the front lines fighting for our freedoms every single day. It's why we exist. And look, it's just one more thing everybody can do. Everybody has a cell phone, right? So just by switching your cell phone service to Patriot Mobile, not only are you going to be helping the cause, you might even save a little money while you're at it. So how's that for a good deal?
That's always a good deal because you're supporting all of the things that we care about here. And look, we've talked about a bunch of things, not just Daniel Defense, but when there were things going on in Western North Carolina, you were there. When the floods hit Texas, you were there. You're involved in all these things. You're helping Jason Aldean. You're one of his major sponsors on his tour right now. You're involved. In fact, I think we've got some video here of these shirts, Courage and Faith with Charlie Kirk on them. You're involved in all of these great causes.
Yeah, Steve, look, we think that we've been called by the Lord to actually support these causes. And look, I mean, we want to do everything we can to honor Charlie's legacy and also to support an amazing organization like TPUSA. And that's our mission, is to help those organizations. And this is one more way that we've come up with just by designing a shirt that we think honors Charlie, but also 100% of the proceeds are going to go to TPUSA. And you can get those shirts online at patriotmobile.com. Right on our homepage, you'll see a link there to order your shirts. And please do, because look, it's on all of us to do everything we can to continue Charlie's legacy and all the great work that he's done.
In fact, I just jumped on and I look at the Patriot Press from Patriot Mobile. It's your newsletter, if you will. Just some of the things you've done this year. The National Day of Prayer, you were involved with that. The Patriot Mobile supporting Embrace Grace. The Patriot Mobile launching a fundraiser to support Ukrainian citizens, not the war effort necessarily, but helping those in need. Praying for Coach Kennedy and First Liberty. And you also sponsored the Fight, Laugh, Feast conference. Fight, Laugh, Feast. What is that?
Yeah, Steve, that was a good one. Just last weekend, we were in Nashville, Tennessee with Cross Politic. Gabe Wrench, wonderful man, strong Christian. He has started an organization called Cross Politic, and their annual event is called Fight, Laugh, Feast. And we all know we're fighting, but man, if I can get a chance to laugh a little bit and eat some good food, well, I'm in there as well. But Here's the deal. Their mission aligns very closely with ours. They strongly believe that our faith should permeate every corner of our culture, including in our government and through our elected officials. And that's their mission. And so we want to be a part of that. That's some very important stuff.
Yeah. You know, God works in mysterious ways. I'll say that, Scott. I just got a pop-up from Patriot Mobile saying, you need to join now. I already did that, but here it is, just as we're saying, boom, join Patriot Mobile. And that's my message to all sorts of folks. Listen, here's something that Patriot Mobile can do that I find really interesting as far as the services you offer. You can put 2 lines on a single phone. Nobody can do that. And why that's important to somebody like me or you or a lot of folks is you could have a business line where you talk to customers and so forth, and you can have a private line for family and friends and not have to take calls that you don't know where they're coming from because that's on your business line. That's really unique, isn't it?
That is, Steve. And you mentioned 2 very practical reasons why we're different and why you can do things like that with Patriot Mobile. But here's another one for you. Let's talk about peace of mind, right? I don't want my wife or my teenage son out driving around with potentially without the use of their cell phone, not only to make calls, but also for their navigation systems and the apps that they use to get around now. With Patriot Mobile One, you can have 2 active lines on a single smartphone on 2 different networks. That means that you're never going to be without coverage, right? I don't have to worry about my wife driving around in an area where the coverage is not great. It'll just flip over to the other network and she's covered.
Automatic, all day.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah, and that's something not available from, if you will, the big guys. But you guys have been around for 12 years now. You're really making big strides in the things that you do to defend this country, to defend freedom, to defend faith. I think it just sets you apart, Scott. I do. I think it makes you special. By the way, you can get involved with Patriot Mobile right now, 972-PATRIOT, or go to patriotmobile.com/Gruber. Use the promo code Gruber for a free month of service. Scott Coburn, thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. God bless you guys.
God bless you. We'll be right back. Small business. All right, dive right into it because we want to get as many calls in as we can, man. You've been all over the country today. Great questions today. Really appreciate it. We do this in honor of Rush Limbaugh every Friday. This is Free for All Friday, powered by Patriot Mobile, as you just heard. Be a customer. Andy is in Louisiana. Andy, how are you?
Yes. Good morning, Steve. How are you today?
I'm lovely. What's on your mind?
I can't hear you.
Go ahead.
I'm a CDL holder.
All right.
Listen, Steve, they need to make these companies accountable for hiring these people. You have to have 2 to 3 years experience to drive a vehicle like that. I don't understand it. Secondly, they need to reopen the government so these people to get SNAP balances can have their money at the first of the month, Steve. We love you down here in Jefferson Parish, sir.
Thank you, sir. Greatly appreciated. We do need to get these people fed. Food insecurity, but that's what Schumer's saying. Hey, we've got leverage. It gets better every day. People are going to suffer, they say. Yeah, we got that. All right. Martha in Texas. How are you today?
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm doing good. My son applied for Social Security over a year ago. He finally got a letter to go in to see a doctor. At the end of that letter, it tells them if you can't speak English, take this to the Social Security office and they will help you. Well, I thought you had to be a citizen and speak English to be in this country or learn English. My daughter works in a nursing home, and she said it fills up sometimes with people that cannot talk a lick of English. So
Yeah.
what is really going on? Is Trump the only one working?
Yeah, a lot of things you point out there, Mary. Or Martha, excuse me. Look, we need to make English the official language of the United States. It is an English-speaking country. Yes, we have a lot of people that speak Spanish and 150 other languages, but it's English. That's why you have to have, as it was pointed out by Andy, CDL holders need to be able to read English, to understand road signs, to understand the Medicare offers and everything else. People used to come through Ellis Island, they'd learn English. They'd learn about this country. People that go through citizenship classes still do the same. We can do better. It's an English-speaking country. Floyd, Mary, Gerald, Mike, and so many more from Tennessee, Texas, South Dakota, Florida, still on the way on this Free Speech Free for All Friday. 2 more big hours to come. It's the Steve Gruber Show.
Today.
There's always something to make you look around and say, hey, you know what? I live in a pretty great country. President Trump is calm, on point, on his game. And unlike the last guy, he is competent and coherent. Come on, man. We're not bending the knee anymore. We're here to take a stand for God and country.
This is the Steve Gruber Show.
Yes, it is. And here we are diving into another brand new hour. Glad to have you here as we get rolling. Fighting for you from the foxhole of freedom here on this Free for All Friday. Here are three big things you need to know this hour. Number one, should the way Social Security is increased each year be done differently? Is the COLA increase based solely on inflation out of date and not good for Americans? It's a big question. Number two, Democrats in the Senate have not only blocked reopening the government 12 times now. On Thursday, they voted to block checks going out to government workers, including paying military people. Number three, it's free for all speech. Free speech, free for all Friday. Easy for me to say. Powered by Patriot Mobile's Common Sense Hotline 877-310-9966. By the way, if you missed it in the last hour, $130 million anonymous donation came in yesterday after the Democrats voted not to pay the military and others. So the military can get paid. $130 million anonymous donation. Well done, Patriot, whoever you are. Let's do this. Keep it clean. Don't talk to me about other shows. It's not why we're here. Let's get to it. Floyd in Tennessee is here. Floyd, how are you?
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm getting along good, brother.
Good.
I just wanted to let you know that I think you're real in what you're doing. But my little bit of a gripe I've got is the cost of medications for elderly people. I'm 69. My wife's 69. We've been retired a few years. We draw just a few dollars over $2,200 a month between the both of us. And prescription costs, they put me on Repatha about 3 months ago for my cholesterol.
Okay.
And my cholesterol 3 months ago was 252. My triglycerides was almost 400. I did my blood work the other day, and my cholesterol's down to 118. My triglycerides down about 150 something now, and everything in 3 months' time.
You're going to live forever.
I tried the statin drugs; they don't work.
No, I don't like statin drugs.
They hurt me.
Well, here's the good news. Let me answer your question here because you're talking about prescription prices, so let me get to it. Trump RX was announced here just a few weeks ago to drive down the price of pharmaceuticals. Mark Cuban has gotten on board with this. The infamous Trump hater testifying in front of Congress. Yes, his company's going to get involved. You're going to see an effect here soon. I don't know what the effect's going to be, but the price of pharmaceuticals, a lot of them are going to come down. I don't know if it's going to affect the drugs you're on, but there is hope, and they're working on it. Unlike the Democrats who want to give pharmaceuticals to illegal aliens, they're actually working on it for you, Floyd. So hopefully we can get that done. That's my hope. So Trump RX, Mark Cuban finally said, you know, this is the right thing to do. It's nice to see that some Americans can extract their head from their backside and get on with it. I hope it works out for you, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm hoping so because it takes a whole lot for us to live in the situation the things is, and I'm thankful for the insurance that we have, but it's paying a whole lot.
Yeah, no,
and
I get
I'm
it.
having to pay a whole lot.
Well, all I can say is that they're working on the drug prices. Floyd, will have to stay tuned. You call me back sometime in the future. Give me an update. Good numbers, though, by the way, 118 and 150. You're going to live forever, like Superman. Let's go to Texas. Mary is in Texas. Mary, how are you today?
Yes, good. I'm fine. I am a Patriot Mobile customer.
Good.
And also, I have ordered medicine for Patriot Relief, and so it's been a real help for me.
Good.
And first thing is, I want to thank Ivy because she's almost always in the background, but women back in my age, my early age, they were grossly underrated, and I appreciate you rating her every now and then. And
well, she's great,
and
if you're not here for the last hour, she's here every day in the last hour of the program. She's very smart, very up on health and nutrition. She does a great job.
Yes, but one of my question today is, one day, I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday this week, I get RAV through Roku.
Yeah.
And it was blocked. I couldn't see any of RAV for a whole day. I could get other stations, but I could not get
Here's
RAV.
what you have to do. If you have the internet, right?
Yes.
Then go find the Steve Gruber Show on YouTube. A lot of folks in there talking. Go find the Steve Gruber Show on Getter. Go find the Steve Gruber Show on Facebook. We're live on all these platforms. You'll never miss a minute. All right? I got to jump, but I appreciate the phone call. Thank you so much. I got to get a couple more people in. I'm not trying to be short, Mary. I'm just trying to pack in as many people as possible. How do you say this, Brock?
It's our buddy Gerald in South Dakota.
Gerald. I knew I was going to say it wrong. Gerald, how are you?
Well, just good morning, Steve. This is my thoughts. All right. Now, Donald Trump could cure cancer, solve all the woes of the world.
Yep.
He could climb up this tree and find all these answers to climb back from the tree. The Democrats would say, "Yeah, but how many leaves did you kill?" You know?
Right, exactly.
I mean,
that's how they are. It's remarkable. You know, all they're yelling about right now is the remodeling of the East Wing. They're going nuts over the East Wing remodeling. They didn't care when Barack Obama, tore down a big chunk of the building and put in a basketball court. They didn't care when bowling alleys were added and swimming pools were added and theaters were added.
All the stuff that was added over the years.
That's right.
That needed to be done. It's the people's house. Like, I heard old Whoopi go, "Oh, it's the people's house, not his house." Well, you're right. Let's make it proud for the people.
That's exactly right, Gerald. You got it right. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for nailing it. I appreciate you being here. Let's see. We can get a couple more in. Mike is in Florida. Mike, how are you?
Good, Steve. How are you this morning? Thanks for taking my call. What I'd like to speak to this morning is about our national debt. Yesterday, we crossed the $38 trillion national debt mark, and I guess the problem I have with the concept I don't understand is why we would continue to borrow money and pay interest on the money and then turn around and give it away to foreign entities and non-government NGOs. I don't understand that concept. I thought maybe you could help me understand that.
I'm as confused as you are, Mike. Why would we send money for social awareness to Zimbabwe and circumcisions to, God only knows where? And LGBTQ awareness to God only knows where. We should not do that, Mike. $38 trillion. We're at the point of no return. At some point, the bill is going to come due. Our only hope is that we can make this economy run like a scalded dog. All right, I'm going to get Linda in from North Carolina. Linda, you're it for this hour. We got about 30 seconds, so get right to it, ma'am.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. Go.
Okay, my question is, I guess to Bobby and Dr. Oz. As a senior citizen, and we're on Medicare, I applaud all the people that are trying to help us from the frontline doctors. And my question would be, why don't they help the senior citizens with these drugs and supplements that they are promoting to help us? I would
Linda, here's my answer.
Better than I would
it's Trump RX.
the big pharmacists.
It's Mark Cuban. They're all working on it right now. We'll have an update for you very soon here on the Steve Gruber Show. While the elites built No, I was speaking to Brock. All right, back to it. If you didn't catch this headline, you should have. It's big for Michigan. It's also big for the country. The Chinese electric vehicle project has been pushed and pushed and pushed by Governor Gretchen Whitmer here in Michigan. The Goshen operation was supposed to be this massive battery plant that nobody in the neighborhood wanted. They're going to take over private land. The Michigan Economic Development Council has something called The Right Place, pushing it. Michigan taxpayers chipped in on it. Well, it's dead today. Dead. One of the people that stood in an opposition to it from the beginning, Ambassador Joe Sella. He serves as the United Nations ambassador to Fiji, and he is now joining me now to talk about this. Mr. Ambassador, thank you for being here.
Great being back with you, Steve.
All right, so this was a $2.4 billion, and they claimed it would create 2,350 jobs. Of course, most of those jobs were going to go to Chinese nationals. They never told you that. That was in the fine print, right? They're going to import workers from China. But it has died here, thankfully. People didn't want it. A lot of questions about what it would do to the environment there and so much more. My question right off the top, how much money did we squander of taxpayer dollars to have this boondoggle again?
Well, there was $750 million in tax incentives, rebates, but cold hard cash appropriated by the Michigan legislature, wrongly, recklessly, was $175 million. Now, 50 of that was let to the Right Place, which is an economic development entity in Grand Rapids, and some of that has been spent. And now the challenge for the MEDC and Governor Whitmer, who recklessly pursued this ill-fated plan, is claw all of that back.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say, Mr. Ambassador, that the EV, whatever it was, this infatuation with EVs has died in the last few weeks and in the last few days. Mary Barra from General Motors says, yeah, we're going back to gas and diesel. Ford Motor Company, same thing, going back to gas and diesel. This idea, when General Motors came out a number of years ago, we're going all EV by 2035. I said if they do that, they will be bankrupt. They're going to lose $1.6 billion at General Motors on this. But it's more evidence that we wasted time, resources, and treasure on a Green New Deal fantasy, didn't we?
So well put, Steve. This was chasing the green utopia. I think the seeds to the destruction for both of these projects, or at least grave complications, were sown early on. There was zero strict scrutiny or due diligence done. It was hushed and rushed. They had these silly secret code names. They had binding and punitive non-disclosure agreements. And Steve, they didn't do any consumer test, any market analysis, and certainly didn't do a national security pressure test as well. So on all levels, this was very reckless, exposing our national security and certainly exposing the taxpayers of Michigan. Yeah. And again, it was this kind of like altered view of reality where, you know, the Biden administration was chasing this this utopian green dream. I mean, sure, there's probably going to be a presence of electronic vehicles at some level, but it certainly outpaced reality. And I think it was in this cloud of COVID and all these COVID dollars flowing into the state of Michigan's coffers, and that really, I think, distorted reality, and it resulted in these total debacles that we have seen rattle apart before our very eyes.
And another project similar to this, the Blue Oval project that was backed by Ford Motor Company, involving Chinese companies as well, in Marshall, Michigan, also on the ropes because the folks there fighting back won a big court decision. Look, these things are getting rebuffed everywhere. And the problem that I have with it is the amount of money, $175 million, whatever it is. There was another electric plant for a South Korean company in Lansing, near the GM factories there, that went belly up. So they're all going belly up. It's the pursuit of Green New Deal fantasy world, utopia as you call it, and it's all going away. And here's why. Grassroots. People are saying, no, don't build this here. We're not going to get the jobs. We're not going to get the benefit. And once again, a Democrat governor, because it's not just Whitmer. She's guilty in this case. But other Democrat governors pursuing these projects that go belly up, costing the taxpayers literally billions of dollars. It's got to stop.
Yeah, and really, this thing was conceived and executed in secret, and it moved very fast, defying the advice of our national security intelligence agencies. Both of these deals, Ford Blue Oval and Goshen, and that brought us to where we're at. That brought us to where these wonderful patriotic citizens who marshaled to the front lines and fought and still are fighting and have had a tremendous impact. So my hat is off to the Patriots still fighting in Marshall and in Big Rapids. And I think it's very, very important to stay vigilant. I don't think the proverbial fat lady has sung yet, but we need to be vigilant and see these through to the end and that justice is served. You referenced the court case with respect to the Ford Blue Oval plant. There is a precedent that the Michigan Supreme Court pointed to the Michigan Court of Appeals to look at this case through that lens, that the local joint commission that has the right to say yay or nay has the authority. Initially, they said no, but the city of Marshall, it seems, pulled a fast one and added an appropriation amount to this.
Right. Here's
project.
the problem. Here's the problem.
Cute, and they're paying the price now.
Yeah, we've only got about 30 seconds here, but we've got to remain vigilant because they're not going to stop. They're still going to try to pull some of these things. We've got to keep an eye on it. Last word to you.
Yeah, I would say that that Goshen is on the hunt. I've heard that they've been looking for alternative locations and partners over the last few months because they know that they're going to lose their case in the Sixth Circuit.
Yep.
And we have to remain vigilant and watch that and hunt that down and publicize whatever they come up with, because I don't think that they're done. So we need to stay vigilant and expose them for what they are.
Mr. Ambassador, I tip my hat to you, too, and the people that have stood shoulder to shoulder with you in the foxhole to defend against this stuff, because it's important to protect Michigan's environment, to protect the taxpayers, and to stop pursuing fantasies. All right, sir, thank you for being here.
100%. God bless you, Steve. Thank you for your engagement.
God bless you, my friend. There you have it, Ambassador Joe Sella. He was the ambassador to Fiji. Sounds like a dream job to me. I'll take it. Pick me. I'll be right back. All right, so might even get Brock to weigh in on this. Stephen A. Smith, sports commentator, went berserk on Donald Trump yesterday about this NBA gambling sting. The investigation has been going on for years. And he's trying to blame Donald Trump. Chauncey Billups got arrested, 20 other people, La Cosa Nostra people got arrested. This went on. It wasn't just basketball games that were being, impacted. There were illegal gambling operations and so forth. Brock, what do you make of it?
It was stunning when you told me right after the show ended yesterday that Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier and others were involved. I understand there's more than 30 people that were arrested, in connection to this. These are a couple of separate things that are going on, but they're sort of related. I understand. It's ugly. It goes to the core of sports being on the up and up, not being manipulated. And you may know, Steve, there have been a lot of talk and scuttlebutt that the NBA is rigged or manipulated through officiating and in other ways.
So let me tell you something.
Going back to Michael Jordan in the 1990s.
Yeah.
So
I don't mean to laugh, but I'm going all the way back to when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, a friend of mine's father. I said something about a football game and politics. Gruber, it's all rigged. It's all rigged, Gruber. If you don't understand that politics is rigged and sports is rigged, you're not paying attention. This is back in the 80s. Yeah. And God rest his soul, Doug Liverance had this nailed about all of this. And so I think it's serious. Stephen A. Smith can bump his gums all he wants. This is serious stuff, isn't it?
It is. It's very serious. And NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has a big problem. One night after they had their joyous return to NBC and all that stuff and the season beginning and everybody all happy and looking forward to the season, and then the next day this happens.
Yeah. Maybe the commissioner should be focusing his efforts somewhere else. Just saying. And Roger Goodell, news flash. People gamble in the NFL, too. All right, Brock, thank you for that. We'll take a break and be back. It's Free Speech, Free for All, Friday, 877-310-9966. We'll slide you in anywhere we can today, all right? Coming up, Congressman Tim Walberg will be here about the government shutdown and the renovations of the East Wing after this. All right, back at it now as we continue on a Free Speech Free for All Friday. Glad you're here. Still taking calls, 877-310-9966 on the Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline. Join me now, Congressman Tim Walberg from Michigan 5. Congressman, nice to have you back on the program.
Good to be back with you.
Sounds like you're on the move, and that's okay. Let's talk about it. Got some things we need to talk about here. I couldn't believe it, but the Democrats actually voted yesterday to not pay the military. But then, I don't know if you heard this, an anonymous donor came up with $130 million, just donated to the United States government to make sure our military gets paid. What a patriot, whoever this person is, anonymous, $130 million because the Democrats won't do it. Your thoughts?
Well, that would trigger a lot of these ultra-left liberals, progressives, socialists out there, that someone would step up in a patriotic way and say, I don't care what the Democrats continue to do, shut down government and not pay these hardworking military personnel and of equal or greater importance, their families, who are dealing with the same issues day by day, mortgages, car payments, work transportation, etc. And the Democrats continue to thumb their nose at the needs of these people, including we look at air traffic controllers, and coming up to a heavy flying season, Thanksgiving, holidays, we're looking at some real problems if something doesn't change here in the minds of Democrats who are willing to propagate a political agenda against the needs of the American people.
I agree with that, and they seem hell-bent on doing it. I mean, you heard your colleague Catherine Clark say, yeah, people are going to suffer, but it's the leverage we have. Really? It's okay for people to have food insecurity, to not know if they're going to get their Social Security checks, for military members not to get paid. The people are going to suffer. She said it in an interview on camera. We played it this week. You probably heard it. It's shameful, isn't it?
It's shameful, but it follows the pattern of Chuck Schumer says every day that goes by is better for us. I mean, this is a political event that's taking place here, trying to blacken Trump's eye, to force Republicans allegedly deal with health care, a problem that they brought on to the country, starting with Obamacare, and then ultimately putting through a subsidy for insurance companies because you can't afford the Affordable Care insurance called Obamacare. You can't afford it. You can have it. You'll all have insurance, but you can't use it. And so they put through this plan. They couldn't even get Democrats to make it permanent for the subsidy. They only got a 3-year extension, and that ends in December. And so now they're trying to hold the entire government hostage in order to keep a failed health care plan and not truly get back to an open government where we can negotiate alternative solutions like the ones we almost got done but for John McCain, who waffled at the end there and went on the Democrat side and opposed the elimination of and reform of health care in this country, the elimination of Obamacare.
It's sad. All right, so the only thing the Democrats are talking about, I want you to wait, I don't have to spend much time on this, the renovation of the East Wing of the White House. Man, you would think that he had bulldozed the entire place. He changed the East Wing. They're putting in a 90,000 square foot ballroom so that we can have great events with foreign leaders and anybody else for that matter. And the Democrats are going crazy, even though it's all privately funded. And they think, well, this is bribery. What do you make of it?
Well, what are a lot of campaign contributions? They are privately funded contributions to politicians. And so if you're worried about this, you better worry about, which a lot of people are, about campaign contributions. So, I mean, come on. This is just another opportunity where Trump has said, I'm going to go and do something that I can do. It's not illegal. I can do it for the country. Like Truman, gutted the entire White House.
Right.
He and his wife had to live outside of the White House for a while because it was totally gutted inside. And yet the screams come about doing something that is necessary as when you have a president that actually wants foreign dignitaries to come to this country, or I should say the other way around. Those dignitaries want to come to the United States. They want to meet a president who is truly a president, who has power, who has a plan, is working it out, and we've got an East Wing that does not provide suitable facilities for things like that,
No,
including
in fact,
bringing members of Congress over.
Yeah, when you have big events at the White House, they set up tents and heaters and, all that stuff. I've been there on the South Lawn for such events, right? You have to bring in all this stuff and caterers, and this is a better way to go. All right, last thing I want to ask you about this. You are urging governors to opt into the federal school choice initiative. What is it? Why are you pushing people to do it?
Because it will work for kids. This is the first time, as a result of the One Big Beautiful Bill, and I know we've changed the name to Working Families Tax Cut Bill, but I like the One Big Beautiful Bill because it is beautiful, and the fact that we got things like Workforce Pell in it finally, but we got this universal school choice where funds from families, from grandparents, parents, corporations, companies, businesses can put into recognized funds that can be used for scholarshiping students to a school of their choice. Now, our Michigan governor doesn't like that. I'm sure our attorney general will probably find some lawsuit against it. But it's an opportunity, and I think when my district, which sits on the border of Ohio and Indiana, sees Indiana, Ohio using it profusely to allow greater amounts of school choice, because we're talking about education. We're not talking about just protecting a system. I think Michigan would be hard-pressed not to follow suit and say, okay, you can put it. Now, let me add one thing that you need to know about this school choice fund. It can be used for public schools, too. Dollars can be used by parents to acquire tutors to bring their kids up to speed again where they ought to be. They can be used for resources in public schools if that's what is determined by the user of the scholarship. But it is a choice for individual families and students. And doggone it, that seems almost to be American, doesn't it?
Yeah, almost sounds like being an American. Yes. Congressman, thank you so much for being here as always. Keep up the good fight, and let's see if we can get this government open at some point. But in the meantime, Democrats don't want that. Sir, have a great Michigan weekend. Oh, and there's a big football game. You probably can't take sides, but there we are.
Go green, go blue.
Well done. Spoken like a true politician. Congressman Tim Walberg. Thank you, Congressman. There you have it. Go green, go blue. Michigan, a 2-touchdown favorite.
That was a very political answer. That was impressive.
You think? Spoken like a true politician. Well, Brock, this is why we're not politicians. I just say, go blue. I love my Spartan friends. I do.
Oh, so
I
do
just
I.
can't live with them when they win.
And State could win tomorrow.
Of course, that's why they play the game.
Oh, now you're getting all cliched on me. Now.
What? Come on. Was Michigan supposed to beat Ohio State last year? No, they had no chance. Yeah, okay. 13-10, as I recall. Anyhow, go blue. We'll be back. Former Ambassador Carlos Sands will be here to talk about the peace deal, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Israel, and so much more. Stick around. All right. It's a free speech, free for all Friday. I'm glad you're here for the conversation. Joining me now is Ambassador Carla Sands. She was ambassador during the first Trump administration. She was the ambassador to Denmark. Today, we're going to talk about the government shutdown, the peace deal, and so much more being accomplished by this administration, while the Democrats are screaming about remodeling of the White House. Ambassador, thank you for being here.
Great to be with you, Steve.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a nice ballroom, 90,000 square feet. Look, it's going to be an improvement. It's an upgrade, which has been done by too many presidents to even list here. And that's all the Democrats are screaming about, that and somehow that Donald Trump is starving children, even though I saw Catherine Clark, Democrats, say, of course people are going to suffer, but that's the leverage we have. Chuck Schumer, it's getting better for us every day. These should be commercials running all over America right now. They write themselves because the Democrats, they don't care. They just want power, even though they are the minority party, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. Steve, it's unbelievable that these people, if you let them talk, will tell you what's in their heart. They don't care. They're taking their paychecks and then going to the airport and voting against the TSA actually getting their pay. Can you imagine having a straight face as you go through making over $100,000 a year, these senators, and then walking through TSA and it's like a big middle finger to these people that they don't want to pay them their salary while they're showing up for work.
Which they did yesterday. And if you missed this headline, because not a lot of people have seen this yet, an anonymous donor showed up, I don't know from where yesterday, with $130 million gifted to the United States government to pay the military. That happened yesterday. Somebody says the military is going to get paid $130 million. Here it is. I mean, the Democrats can't do their job, but this man or woman or whoever, maybe a couple, stepped up and said, here it is. That's remarkable, isn't it?
It is remarkable. This person is a patriot, and this reminds me of our founders. There were Jewish financiers and our early signers of the Declaration. Many of them went broke, funding our war of independence, losing everything, their wives and children being killed. There were tragic stories around our founders and around the funders of the Revolutionary War. And this man reminds me of that this person would step up and spend over $100 million of their own money to make sure that our heroes, our volunteer military, are paid, since the Democrats are voting against paying for them. You just can't make up how they don't care about the people. They don't work for the people. They think that they're above the people that they represent. But Steve, you also talked about President Trump building a ballroom at the White House. It's so exciting because I don't think we've ever had a president in the history of our country that understands hospitality and making guests feel welcome and respected as much as President Trump. He's in the hospitality business. What do you think he does at his clubs and his country clubs all over the world, his golf clubs all over the world, and then Mar-a-Lago? He knows what he's doing.
And here's the thing. I've been to events at the South Lawn of the White House, right? What do? They set up big tents. They put out heaters. They put out folding chairs and tables because we don't have a facility to house big events, not for a world leader, not for a state dinner. We don't have it. What's wrong with doing it? And the answer is there's nothing wrong with doing it. It's better than a damn basketball court or a movie theater or a bowling alley or anything else that they've done. Now, those are smaller projects, but the basketball court was a pretty big project. This is bigger, but this is better, I think.
Yeah, when I've gone to state dinners at the White House, I've been shocked how small the ballroom is. I mean, it wasn't much bigger than my living room if I took out the furniture in my old house where I hosted President Trump for a dinner. It was not substantial enough to host world leaders. And that's why under every recent president, they were building out these very expensive tents, and then they had to build subfloors, and it damages the grass. It's not the way to welcome world leaders. So he's doing the right thing. The future presidents will benefit from this because he understands this, and he is a builder and developer. But also, I want to go, and I think every American would want to go and see the ballroom.
I expect to be there. Yeah, I look forward to being there, Carla. I can't wait to be there. All right, one last thing before you go, because I wanted to mention this. I think the most impressive, the MVP to me in this administration currently, without question, is Marco Rubio. This guy has excelled at everything he has done. He is not the same guy I was interviewing back in 2016 when he was running for president. Not the same guy at all. Man, is he good.
Man, is he good. I was just talking about Marco Rubio, the great Marco Rubio, the greatest Secretary of State probably in the history of our country. Last night when I was at the swearing in of my successor to the Kingdom of Denmark, as representing President Trump and all of your viewers and listeners, as the U.S. ambassador to the Kingdom of Denmark, and we were talking about Marco Rubio and how he has become not just a statesman, but he's running the NSC too. So he's running presidential policy as well as the State Department. It's unbelievable. He is killing it.
Yeah, first time since Henry Kissinger somebody held both of those jobs. He is killing it, and I've got to be honest. J.D. Vance has the upper hand to be the nominee in 2028 for the Republicans at this point in the conversation. But Marco Rubio has to be somebody to be considered because of the job that he's done, the leadership that he has shown, the mettle he has displayed. I mean, he's just been terrific. I don't mean to, I'm not fanboying on him, but boy, is he doing the work. I'll give you the last word.
Well, I think these are two great patriots, J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. President Trump has the greatest cabinet and leadership team, I think, since I've been born. He has his men and women in place on the field, and the benefits are just rolling out. The people, your listeners, all the people across our great country, and really the world are benefiting from President Trump, his careful planning for this second administration, and how he's bringing peace around the world and more prosperity home.
No question. Carlos Sands, former ambassador to the Kingdom of Denmark, thank you so much for being here. Come back anytime.
Thanks, Steve.
Greatly appreciate it. There it is, yeah. The great Marco Rubio, she said. Look, I think the guy's doing just a spectacular job. How could you not? Look at what all the good things that have come from him, and Steve Witkoff, and this administration. She's right. A terrific cabinet doing the work that they were elected, that Donald Trump was elected to do, and surrounding himself this time with people to get the job done and not people that want to go write books. Sports with Brock after the break. All right,
With a look
time
at
for
sports. I'm
sports.
Brock Polmush. Justin Herbert threw 3 touchdown passes, and Kamani Vidal rushed for 117 yards on his score. And the Los Angeles Chargers walloped the Minnesota Vikings 37-10 last night in Los Angeles in NFL Thursday Night Football. The Charger defense held the Vikings to just 34 yards rushing. LA now 5-3 on the season. Minnesota falls to 3-4. In college football, there was one game. South Alabama beat Georgia State 38-31 in Atlanta. Jaguars running back Kentrell Bullock rushed for 113 yards and 2 touchdowns on the night. In the NBA last night, there were just 2 games. In an NBA Finals rematch, Oklahoma City beat Indiana 141-135 in double overtime. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the Thunder with 55 points, a career high for the league MVP. And Golden State got past Denver 137-131 in overtime. Steph Curry had 42 for the Warriors. That's a look at sports. Back to you, Steve.
All right, Brock, thank you for that. Let's get back to the lines. We got Martine. He's been very patient. Free for all Fridays. Martine in Georgia. How are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing great. Before I ask a question and to make a comment, I'm still waiting for you and your staff, I guess, to reply back to the papers I sent you regarding my lawsuit against the Congress, also my white paper on getting rid of the Federal Reserve, as well as my commentary paper on filing bankruptcy as a nation. As a matter of fact, Congressman Cassidy I got it, and he's been promoting it. So I'm hoping that you give me a response.
Senator Cassidy?
In regard, Senator Cassidy, yes, from Louisiana.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, anyhow. So my comment is about them not paying the military. You go back and look at the law and also our Constitution. You know, what they're doing, that actually can fall under, if you pull down the law all the way down, under treason. I don't know why Van Bondi doesn't go in and arrest them. Or else at first, what they should do is take away their Secret Service, see how they like being unsafe, because that's what they're doing to this country.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing I have. That's my comment. Now, the other question I have for you is, where is Candace Owens?
Left field. Yeah. I'm going to play Candace Owens at the top of the hour here. That's for, we got an update from Candace. All right. I'll get that for you. I'll do it first. In the next hour here on the Steve Gruber Show. Glad you're along for the conversation. We'll be back with more Free for All Friday. something to make you look around and say, hey, you know what? I live in a pretty great country. President Trump is calm, on point, on his game. And unlike the last guy, he is competent and coherent. Come on, man. We're not bending the knee anymore. We're here to take a stand for God and country.
This is the Steve Gruber Show.
It is, as we launch another brand new hour here of the program on Free Speech, Free for All Friday. Glad to have you here for the conversation. I've got three big things for you to know this hour. Number one, defund the police. Boy, has it lost popularity. It's just not what it used to be. It's going downhill and downhill fast. Number two, breaking news. Shots fired at a Coast Guard base in California last night. A U-Haul truck approached the base's entrance, refused commands to stop. They opened fire. I'll have more on that coming up. And number three, it is Free Speech, Free for All Friday. The Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline open for you all day long, 877-310-9966. If you got a comment, a question, a concern, bring it to me here. We'll talk about it. We do it all day long. We've had, I think, 20 states represented today already. It's in honor of Rush Limbaugh. We do that. He used to do Open Line Fridays. Man, I loved it, and I love that I can get involved with you. But here's where we're going to start. I had somebody just ask me in the last hour about Candace Owens. Where is she? I think Martine asked me that. Where is she? Well, she's out there now openly claiming that Donald Trump and Israel were the ones involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Openly claiming that Candace Owens, she was relevant once. You make of it what you want. This is insanity to me. Insane talk. Here she is.
Really needed to just take a breather and really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock it off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you.
Uh-huh. So Donald Trump and the Israelis murdered Charlie Kirk. Somebody, please, pull an intervention. She has gone completely off the deep end. I have no idea whatever happened to her. She used to be relevant. She's not relevant now, but somebody asked, so there it is. All right. Free Speech, Free for All Friday, powered by Patriot Mobile. Adam checking in from Michigan. Adam, how are you today?
I'm doing okay. You guys did a program towards the end of the day talking about basically those AI girlfriends.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. AI relationships, people wanting to marry their AI companion or whatever you would call it. Yeah, what do you got? What do you think?
Well, my whole setup is most people don't really understand why, and I do understand why. With the direction the culture is doing, basically undermining meaningful relationships, basically human-to-human relationship as being unimportant, those that desire that true connection of person to person, turning to AI to try to have that connection because our society basically frowns upon that from human to human.
You know, I think I'm going to expand on that, Adam. I think that we have devalued human life. It was abortion, obviously, and now abortion up to the moment of birth, sometimes after the moment of birth, postnatal abortion, I guess, right? And then you've got several states now that are expanding and encouraging euthanasia. You know, some countries now, if you're depressed and you're a teenager, you can apply to kill yourself, and they'll say yes. States like Oregon and Washington and others have fast-tracked euthanasia, the ability to kill yourself. We've devalued human life and elevated the importance of computers. I think that's part of it too, don't you?
Agreed. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. Devaluing human relationships. And when you devalue human relationships, you devalue human life. That's part of it. Okay, so here's and I hope Ivy's going to check this out. I want Ivy to
in Kansas.
Say that again. Oh, there. I'm sorry, Paul. You're in Kansas. I overlooked it. Paul, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Glad to have you on a Free Speech Free for All Friday. What's on your mind?
Well, I was just kind of wanting to mention some things about these boat barbecues we've been having out in the ocean. I don't see
boat barbecue.
I really
All
don't
right,
see
that's
a
my new
problem in it.
that's my new word for the day, Paul. Boat barbecue. All right, go on.
Well, it's just like I mean, I'm not against it because it's a deterrable penalty. I mean, we used to hang people in Kansas for just stealing a horse. It didn't mean anything to the person we was hanging. It was to let everybody know you're not going to steal a horse, or this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, if you're going to run drugs to the United States of America and kill 100,000 of our fellow Americans every year with that poison, we're going to find a way to stop that, right?
Exactly, and to me, I think the boat barbecues we've been having is just really the tail end of the snake. It'd be better off if we just went down there and took care of the cartel itself and confiscate all of their funds and stand down there at the border and write all these illegal immigrants or aliens a check to go back into their damn country and start building their own houses.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, it wouldn't cost us nothing, and they would probably leave, because I'm telling you what, this has been going on for a lot longer than people think.
That's right.
Because these people don't come up here with $15,000 to $20,000 to get into this border. So every time that a company in this country pays these people, they go straight to the Western Union and send it to these cartel down there, the ones that allow them to be in this country.
That's after, Paul. They've taken a job that should have been an American's job. And they say Americans won't do the jobs. We won't do it for 50 cents. We'll do it for a fair wage. That's a fact. Americans will work.
I understand that, but it's like they just constantly paying the cartel, because I tell you what, the cartel keeps some of their family down there, and if you miss a payment, if you miss a payment to them, they kill one of your family members.
Miss a payment, miss a family member.
If you miss another payment to them, they come up and look for you, because that's why you're here, is to pay them.
Paul, I got to run.
Until that.
Well done.
Okay,
Great
bud.
phone call. I got to run. The boat barbecues. Just go. Anthony, it made me chuckle out loud. I'm not going to.
That's a new one.
Boat barbecue. Drug runners. We're going to have another boat barbecue off Venezuela.
What do they? Do they just? Do they go back and recover that stuff, or do they just let it sink?
I don't think there's much to recover based on what I've seen. I'm sure they must go in and look.
So if it's full of like cocaine or something, does that stuff just explode all over the water? Or?
Oh yeah, the fish are stoned. Yeah.
Cocaine sharks.
Yeah, you got it. All jacked up. You know.
As the late great Rick James once said, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Thank you, Brock. Thank you, Brock. He's not speaking from personal experience, of course. Just Rick James.
No, I'm definitely not. And neither did Rick James. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
We'll be right back. Free for All Friday. All right, well, let's shift gears here a little bit. We're going to talk about Enbridge a little bit, the replacement tunnel for Line 5. It inches forward, not with the speed that many would like, but we're getting there. And joining me now is Erica Fink. She's the new operations manager. I believe she's based in Escanaba, if I'm not mistaken. Erica, welcome to the program.
Hey, good morning, Steve. Thanks for having me. You are not mistaken. I'm based out of Escanaba. That's our office there. And I cover the... Go ahead.
It's a lovely town. That's all I was going to say. It's a lovely part of the world. I love that part of the state.
I never thought I would live in Escanaba. You know, you see that movie and it's a sweet little name.
Yeah.
But it's a great town. It's
It
really,
is.
really been great. Yeah.
Are they rebuilding the Stone House, I think it was called? Great restaurant, but I think they had a fire of some sort. Fabulous. But I hope they're rebuilding.
They are, and the contractors are moving. There's silt fencing around the facility right now, and it's actually underway. So hopefully it comes back within a year. And there's been a couple of little fires in Esky, so we gotta rebuild another restaurant across the way that we lost over the summer.
Man, you've lived there so long, you've got a nickname for it, Esky. I've never heard that before. You just gave yourself away.
That's all right. I mean, I lived in St. Ignace for a while too, and we called it St. Iggy. So
there you go.
You go with
all
the
right.
flow. You know, you want to blend in for sure.
You know, and here's the thing about Enbridge, and the thing that I don't think a lot of people understood about the company. The people that work for Enbridge live here. You have families here. You're investing in the community. You go to school here, church here, whatever it might be. Enbridge is part of the fabric of Michigan. And so when they came along and said, let's build this tunnel, they weren't doing it because they're just some giant out-of-state, multinational. No. They did it because they wanted to do the right thing. That's what I've always thought is a $500 million, one-of-a-kind project that'll have this boring machine, all this stuff. And when it's done, this tunnel will accommodate not just energy, but communications and anything else the state of Michigan and their little heart desires, right?
So you hit the nail on the head, Steve. We live here. This is our home. These are our waters. We fish in them. We canoe and kayak and boat in these waters. Nobody has a bigger interest in keeping these waters safe than we do. And we will do everything in our power to keep them pristine because they're our waters. I mean, this is fundamental to who we are. Some of my pipeliners, I'm blessed to work with a really talented team. Some of my pipeliners and welders are generational. Their fathers worked here. We've got 50, 60 years of legacy built in. My folks are not new to this. They've been doing it generationally. They're the best at what they do. And I've worked for a number of large oil companies, gas distribution companies. And what I can tell you is, as large as Enbridge is, it is an absolute family. And I've never felt that in any company. I've worked for some great companies, but I want to tell you, my people, and I think it's kind of germane to the UP. It's sort of, that's, the Uper way. We look out for one another. We take care of each other. We are not going to do something unsafe because guess what? We care about our reputations.
Yeah, it's a special place.
Doing it safely.
And the other thing you point out there, it's Michigan people that are getting the jobs. These are welders and fabricators. These are good paying jobs. These are jobs that support families and communities, aren't they?
So if you look at the wages that my folks are blessed to make, they're some of the highest in the state and certainly in the UP. So one person can work and provide a really good life for their family, kids and all.
Right.
And you said $500 million, Steve, for the tunnel. I wish we could get by for that cost. It's much more than that. And while I say that to make a point, there are cheaper ways to get that energy across. There are, but there are not safer ways to get that energy across. The tunnel that we will build will be the safest, the most reliable, and for generations to come, it will continue to provide the energy that we need, especially in the UP. If you live here and your home is powered by natural gas or propane, then you need Line 5. And so it just blows my mind when I see people say that we don't need Line 5. It's not true. It hasn't been true in 70 years.
No, it has not been true. In fact, they would suggest, well, you can just bring it across by truck. Apparently, they've never seen it when 60-mile-an-hour winds are blowing across the Mackinac Bridge. And secondarily, there aren't enough trucks to move that much energy. There's not some magical fleet hiding in the shadows waiting to come out and move that energy. This is the best, smartest, safest, most efficient way to do it. We all know that, and it blows my mind, too. I mean, it takes a lot to move that energy. doesn't it?
So I like that you've done your homework and you clearly know the facts here, Steve. I enjoy talking to people that have done the research. When you say let's get rid of the pipelines, the safest way to move energy that there is, and let's just truck it in, you're talking about 2,100 trucks a day to move the same amount of product that's going safely through our pipeline. There are not regulations on trucks like there are on the pipeline. I can assure you the amount of work that we do through preventative maintenance programs, through constantly fine-tuning and working on projects to make the pipeline safer, more resilient, more reinforced. There isn't a better way to do it. But I would offer my friends that say, well, we just don't need the pipeline. You're going to need a lot of trucks. And frankly, our roads can't accommodate what we have now, let alone when the winter kicks in. And to your point, Steve, when the wind picks up and they shut the bridge.
Yeah.
I lived in St. Ignace for 6 years and I trucked over to Petoskey every day to do my work. And when that bridge closed, it was a problem. Unfortunately, we don't have an alternative to the bridge. We haven't had the will and the depth and the vision to build an alternative. And here we are with a golden opportunity. This tunnel is as big, if not bigger, than the bridge, than any other project that I know of. And it will be world class. It will be built by the best people that have built, dozens of tunnels around the globe. These are not people that are trying to figure out how to do it. They're the best. We've picked the best people to work with, from engineering to geology.
And the point you're making, Erica, about when you say it's bigger than the bridge, engineering-wise, this is a bigger undertaking than the bridge. We got to leave it there for today. Really great to meet you here today on the program. The new Enbridge Operations Manager, Erica Fink, based in Escanaba for people that aren't otherwise trained. Really good to talk to you because I love your enthusiasm. We'll talk again soon.
Look forward to it, Steve. Thanks so much.
There you have it. Erica Fink, everybody. This project is the right project for Michigan. I have believed it from day one. I've become more convinced when I talk to people like Erica every day. I'll take a break and be back. Don't go anywhere. Free speech, free for all Friday, powered by the Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline, 877-310-9966. We've taken calls from, I think, 25 states now. This one was not on the list yet. Arkansas. Danny, representing the great state of Arkansas, is on the line. Danny, how are you?
I'm doing good, Steve. Love your show. I'd like to know what happened to the Congress passing legislation to rein in these activist judges, and that seemed to fall to the wayside. And then the other one was when they had the chance to overrule that proctor that took out all that stuff out of the bill. When they had the chance to overrule it, why didn't they do that?
Well, they are politicians at the end of the day. But let me talk about activist judges, because I think you're right, Danny. I think that they need to be brought back in. Look, the Supreme Court already ruled once this year, in effect, that these district court judges, 630, 640 of them, don't have the power to issue nationwide injunctions. And then they found an end run on it. It's going to go back to the Supreme Court. The district judges are going to have that power taken away from them. You can't be a district judge in Northern California and make a ruling for Michigan. A district judge is basically a local judge ruling for the district in which they operate. And yet the Democrat-appointed district judges have routinely issued nationwide injunctions on everything you can imagine, anything that Donald Trump does. We have to rein it in, Danny. You're exactly right. I appreciate the phone call. Thank you so much. All right, we got David now in California. David, how are you?
Well, thanks, Steve. I don't know if you noticed it, but the state of Texas has now authorized fracking water to be put into agriculture. So if you've got let's just think of something cheap, hay or alfalfa. If you've got a racehorse, if you've got a stable of horses or cattle that you want to feed alfalfa and hay, could have fracking minerals in it. You could have poisoned crops coming out of Texas because of this new law.
I don't know if it's
now,
poison.
When I hear about these pipelines...
Hold on, fracking water... and I don't have a lot of time. You have to call me back, David, because I don't have a lot of time. You can come back anytime. I'm going to look into fracking water. I don't know what's in fracking water. The pipelines are a great idea. I'll take a break and be right back. All right, here we go, diving as we just continue to go through all of it for you to learn everything you possibly can and make you the smartest consumer in media today. It's not just radio, it's not just television, it's streaming, it's websites, it's social media, it's all of it, right? Well, join me now is State Representative Cam Cavett. He represents Michigan House District 106. That's Sheboygan for you kids scoring at home. Cam, welcome back.
Thank you, Steve. Glad to be here.
All right, I got a few things I want to talk to you about. I'm going to go with your topic first, and then I'm throwing you curveballs, all right? You ready for that?
All right, bring it.
All right, here we go. Fastball. Kratom. I didn't even know what Kratom was. It's this stuff they sell. It's like at the gas station. It's on the counter, Kratom. You know, it's like a perk you up sort of thing. But apparently it's dangerous. I don't even know what's in this stuff. And you want to regulate this because people die from it, right? You call it gas station heroin. What is it? What does it do? Why do people want it?
Well, there's a reverse opium war going on, Steve. And this Kratom product is created in India and Pakistan and China. And it's not so much the Kratom itself. The Kratom itself has health benefits. However, they attach a synthetic drug called 7-OH to it. And 7-OH is a highly concentrated lab-made chemical, and they put it in the Kratom product. And they sell it to, actually, they market to children using gummies and powders and drinks. And it has an opioid effect, and it's very addictive. And there's no age limit to purchase it.
So why is it legal? Why is this chemical out there? So a 12-year-old can go buy it. A 5-year-old can go buy it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the things we want to change. We want to raise the age limit to 21, and it's marketed as a healthy product. Now, this is a public safety issue. It's not a debate over herbal supplements. They try and paint this as an herbal supplements, but what the labs do is they chemically alter the substance to get around the FDA laws. So they can do it quicker than we can pass laws.
And so if they do, so just for the sake of argument then, if you pass something to get rid of the so-called Kratom, they'll change a couple of things, change up the formula and do something else. Can't we just get it so that there's a class of whether they're stimulants or whatever you want to call them that do these things? You get to say, look, you can't do that unless it gets passed through some sort of testing, regulation.
Well, remember Sudafed?
Yeah,
remember
sure.
Sudafed? Okay, you have to ask for Sudafed, or they card you for Sudafed now.
Yep.
It's going to be very similar to that, where this Kratom product is going to be locked up, and you're going to have to ask for it. You're going to have to know about it. They're not going to be able to market it to kids anymore. We're going to make sure that there's no gummies or drink mixes that are cotton candy flavored. This is a powerful opiate. If it acts like an opioid, we should regulate it like one. Like I said, we've got overdose problems in our youth, and we just need to take a look at it. Nobody's paying attention to it, Steve, and it lines up with the MAHA movement and some of the things RFK is doing. He's not a big fan of not a fan of this, and we're just trying to mimic that.
We want the chemicals out of our food. We want it out of our drugs. We want it out of our kids. All right, we want the chemicals out of our kids, Cam. It's bizarre that this is allowed to happen. And who's cashing in on it? People that don't care. That's my concern. People that don't care.
Or an adversary, Steve. Like I mentioned, this is an opioid war. They're going after our kids using these types of substances. It causes liver damages, seizures, psychosis. People lose their minds over this, and it's happening at an early age because of their using slick marketing tactics to target kids.
Yeah, we got to knock that off. All right, some other things in the headlines here today. It's deer season. You might have heard up there in Sheboygan, people like to deer hunt. And a lot of questions about raising the rates on deer hunters and fishermen and so forth in Michigan. Matt Hall says it's dead in the house. What are your thoughts?
Dead in the house. I echo the speaker's thoughts. There are too many people in our caucus who have doubled down on no fees for us to back out of it now, politically. And that being said, it's the best thing. I don't know if you saw Senator Ed McBroom from the Upper Peninsula's very passionate speech on the Senate floor. It's very viral on social media right now. It's on my page if you want to go look at State Rep Cam Cabot's page. He talks about just how egregious and in your face and rogue the DNR agency is. And that's not everybody, but a lot of people making leadership decisions are just Not for the Michiganders. They're not managing the resource well, Steve. You know that. You have many guests that articulate that problem better than I can.
Yeah, it's concerning because people look. I hunt and fish. We all do in this family. Lots of friends. I mean, this time of the year, I'm getting all sorts of cool buck pictures in my feed from on my phone. Some of them are alive, some of them are not. But the concern is, okay, you raised $20 million or whatever the number, but the money doesn't go into the DNR. It doesn't go into more officers, more enforcement, more habitat. It just goes into somebody's slush fund because they come in and siphon the money away. That's the concern that most people I talk to have. They say it's just a damn, pay hike for other people. That's always the concern.
My concern was, baiting's a big issue. People want to be able to bait, just because of time constraints and things. And that's always been, we're not allowed to bait because of science. Well, I've heard conversations going around that the DNR would loosen up restrictions on baiting if we would pass these fees. Well, I thought that decision was made all in science, That was supposed to be science-based evidence on why we're not supposed to be able to bait, not to be used as a political chip in negotiations. They took that away from the Michigan people.
Yeah. Well, speaking of science-based, I spoke to the wolf expert. His name eludes me at the moment, from the UP. After that kid killed a wolf in Marshall, I think it was early last year, right? You remember that happening. And I called the wolf expert in Michigan for the DNR. He's in the UP. And we got to talk about wolves and their impact on the deer herd. He said, there is no impact. The deer herd's down because of climate change. And I'm like, what did you just say to me? The deer herd, because, there's so much more snow. You know how easy it is to go check snowfall over the last decade in the UP? One click, and I can find the snowfall totals. And by the way, 7 of those years, the snowfall totals were below average. And yet the DNR and their expert says, the wolves have no impact on the deer population in Michigan. Bull. Yeah. Too many wolves are destroying the pursuit of white-tailed deer in northern Michigan and in the UP, because I think that there's probably wolves now on our side of the line. Potentially.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they're going to continue to decimate the deer herd. And to say otherwise does not follow the science. It follows an orthodoxy, an ideology. I'll give you the last word because it really ticks off a lot of people.
Steve,
I'm one
I consider
of them.
myself a conservationist, and it frustrates me to see the level of incompetence in this state bureaucracy. We've had better days for resource management in the state, and we have the best natural resources on the planet. The Michigan people deserve better. There will be no fee increases on fishing and hunting license coming out of the House. That I promise.
Anthony, roll that applause track. Cam Cabot, you have a great weekend. Good talking to you as always.
All right. Thank you, Steve. I always appreciate your audience.
Yeah, we'll talk soon. There you have it. Still to come, another crowd favorite. More applause, please, because Ivy is on the way. So we're having a little fun with Anthony here. We were doing a little concrete pour here in the side yard yesterday, and he may have, he really went robust. Ivy's with me now. She's got a big smile on her face. We were talking about this. And I bring this to your attention, Ivy. Is it going to cure? The Hoover Dam, this is a true story. I just double-checked my facts in the break. Mm-hmm. The Hoover Dam was built 90 years ago.
And
it's still curing.
Wow, that's incredible.
The inside of the Hoover Dam is still curing. All right, I've got to play you this soundbite. I do. I've got to play this for you. I found this yesterday. You have not heard it. And I want you to hear bite number one. The woman has a dilemma. All right, it's about a minute, but it's worth hearing. Listen.
I'm just wondering if there's anyone else out there like me who is married to a MAGA. I have been thinking about leaving since the election, and we ended up going to counseling, which honestly really doesn't help because I'm not going to change my views and he's not going to change his views. I don't really see any other way out of this except for divorce. I don't know what to do. It's painful.
She goes on, it's painful. I thought he would see the light after all the terrible things this man has done. I just don't know what to do. We've gone to counseling. He's still MAGA. Anyhow.
Well, I would say this. I think it's really important that people have these conversations prior to marriage.
Yeah.
I think that it's very difficult to bridge a gap like that if you are a very conservative person and you marry someone who is not. That's going to definitely cause issues down the line because
I think so.
When you have convictions of a certain way, whether that you're, especially if you're a Christian individual, and then what happens if you have kids? Then how are you going to raise your kids? Are they going to go to church or not go to church? So these are really important things that you have to discuss ahead of time. And how are you going to raise your children? Are you going to raise them in a conservative household, or you're going to believe in the leftist ideology and all of this woke nonsense that's going on?
Yeah.
So very, very important
So
to
her
have those
question-
difficult conversations.
Her question is, should she divorce him because he's a Trump supporter? Anthony had a different take on it. Anthony, what was your take?
I said that he should divorce her.
Gosh.
I'm with Anthony on this. And Anthony also said, hope he had a prenup, because if you didn't see that coming, you weren't paying attention. I mean, seriously, people are discussing divorce because they don't agree with their husband. Because their husband says, I like secure borders. I like lower taxes. I like cracking down on crime in cities. I like the smart-ass remarks that he puts out there and the memes that he puts out there. I find them funny. Mm-hmm. Whatever. And I don't find them all funny, but I'm saying if this is what the guy says, you married him.
Yeah. And then you committed your life to that. And
right.
So therefore you have to,
It's a tough spot. Yeah.
No, it's not. I don't think it's a tough spot.
For him.
Well, yeah, for him. Because, hey, if you can't accept my viewpoint as my wife, you're supposed to be supportive of our marriage and our life and our home. And
that's right.
So I think it's completely sad.
Honor your husband. Honor your wife.
Yeah.
Did you hear earlier the part that I played from Candace Owens, who is now openly accusing Donald Trump and Israel of murdering Charlie Kirk?
I did not hear it, but I've seen it online. I've seen the countless of comments that people have put out, like, what is going on? It's a radical take. I don't completely understand what she's trying to accomplish in all of this. Maybe other than being so radical that, to me, this is no different than the radical left. To me, this is like a radical right ideology. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is the CIA killed him? Essentially, that's what she says, right?
No, she says Israel and Donald Trump. He was no longer useful. And so, it's what she said. And so, therefore, they named a street after him and gave him a holiday. When they're giving you a holiday, they murdered him. I'm like, what is in her coffee?
I don't know. It's just one person's take. I don't know why people put so much
Well, because we
value
used
in
to
what
think that she
says.
had I used to think that her opinion was of some value. I think it has no value at this point. I'm sorry. I think Candace Owens has lost her mind.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think she has any integrity. I don't think she has any value to listen to. I seriously wonder if her mental health is right. I do. You think that Donald Trump said, "Oh, yeah, we don't like Charlie Kirk anymore. He helped me get all these votes from young people, so let's just have him killed." I mean, really?
Right, and it's no different than the left, saying that he did all this other stuff that is
I know.
completely untrue. The Russia collusion, and you can go down the gambit of things that they have accused him of. I mean, there's no different than you might as well join the party of the left. There, Candace Owens.
I think maybe she did. That's my point. Anyhow. And one last thing here. I'm looking for more information on this, but this U-Haul truck that tried to apparently breach a Coast Guard facility in California, they
That was
unloaded
very
on it.
weird. Did you see that video?
I haven't seen the video, no, but I've seen the
He
story.
backed up very, very slowly, and then as he gets to where the guards are, they start opening fire.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a box truck.
It's
A box truck brought down the federal building in the Murrah building in Oklahoma City. You don't know what's in that box truck. Yeah, you're going to unload on it. You got to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Crazy video, by the way, if you hadn't seen it. I do have another story really quickly.
Right.
The husband and wife go on vacation, drive about 100 miles, pull off for gas, find that their cat has been on the top of the car the entire time.
How many miles?
100. They were also going speeds up to 70 miles per hour. They found the cat that's sitting there as they're getting gas, and they're like, "Where did you come from?" Could you imagine?
He dug his claws right into the steel skin of that car.
He just wanted to go with
Yeah,
them. Aw.
Can't throw a cat out the window at 100 miles an hour. Its claws are dug too deeply into you. It's just true. Anyhow, thank you.
I can see our cats doing that.
That fat one couldn't do it. Anyhow, Ivy, love you.
Love you. Happy Friday.
100-mile-an-hour cat. We'll be back. Final thoughts. All right, welcome back to it. Glad to have you here as we round it out. Free Speech Free for All Friday. What are you doing? He's just hanging out. At any rate, I got more calls on the Free Speech Free for All Patriot Mobile Common Sense hotline. Mike is in Virginia. Mike, how are you?
Hey, Mr. Gruber, good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you. What's on your mind?
Well, Candace is barking up the wrong tree. Candace Owens has gone off the rails a little bit. I think she is aware that there's something wrong with the Charlie Kirk assassination, and Trump is aware of that Charlie Kirk is still alive. That's what's really strange about the assassination.
Wait, you think Charlie Kirk is still alive?
I think he faked his own death, yes. I think Trump's aware of it.
I think that's hogwash, but that's just me, Mike. I certainly don't think Charlie Kirk's alive. I certainly don't think that they had 80,000 people in an arena in Phoenix and another 100,000+ outside. I've seen the video. They have a man in jail that committed the murder with a .30-06 owned by his grandfather. But I appreciate your call, Mike. We'll see who turns out to be right. Cynthia is in North Carolina. Cynthia, how are you?
I'm doing good, dear. I love watching your show, and I'm hoping that with you on here that you can help me.
All right, go ahead.
I want all of the SNAP people, all the military people, I want them to call the Democrats, email the Democrats, just blow it all up so that they know that what their hostage is doing to us. My son's in the military. He has 4 kids. He has to take care of those kids.
Yeah.
Now, with only his wife's paycheck, it's really hurting them.
And that's what the
know.
Democrats said. They said they know people are getting hurt, and it's leverage for them. Cynthia, great call. I agree. Pick up the phone. Call your member of Congress. Call your senator. Say, hey, Democrats, vote to open the government. Vote to pay SNAP benefits. Vote to pay the military. It's been an interesting day and an interesting close to it, that's for sure. Fight the good fight, keep the faith. God bless America. I'm Steve Gruber. This is the Steve Gruber Show. And remember, together we can save America. And in the words of the late Charlie Kirk, work harder, be better.